This is Chris Medaniels, and I'm here to do my WWE Monday Night Raw January 31st, 2022 review. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. Subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other YouTube channel, Word of Chris 1-800. And subscribe to my other channel, TNW Wrestling on YouTube. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram. It'll all be down there in the description box. And the first thing that happened on Monday Night Raw was we had Adam Pearce in the ring, and he was talking about how Bobby Lashley will be defending the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber, in the Elimination Chamber match. So that's what he was saying. He introduced Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley came out with the MVP, and he was talking about how he defeated Brock Lesnar last night at the Royal Rumble and how he won the WWE Championship. But then we had Brock Lesnar come out, and he is dressed to fight. So yeah, he comes out in his ring gear, and pretty much he's telling Bobby Lashley, like, he's not mad at him. He's mad at Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, and he said at WrestleMania he wants to go face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, and that's what he's planning to do. But then he said, I want to do it in a title versus title match. And he said to Bobby Lashley how he wants to fight him tonight for the WWE Championship. But then Bobby Lashley pretty much declines it. And then, Brock Lesnar was getting underneath Bobby Lashley's skin a little bit, calling him a chicken shit and all that. And, Lashley pretty much backed down and stuff. And then Adam Pearce said that the match ain't happening tonight, but at Elimination Chamber, Brock Lesnar will be added into that match. So yeah, so far in that match we got Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, and we still got 4 more other competitors that'll be in the Elimination Chamber. So yeah, that's what happened in the first segment of tonight's Monday Night Raw. Pretty good segment, but yep. So the next thing that happened on WWE Monday Night Raw was, we had a one-on-one match. The first match of the night, it was Rhea Ripley versus Nikki ASH in a one-on-one match. And I think this is the first match that they had since breaking up as a tag team. Now, it was a pretty good match. It was an okay match. They start off the show pretty much. At one point, Nikki ASH was going to actually win the match when she climbed up the top turnbuckle about to hit the crossbody, but then Rhea Ripley moved out the way, and she let Nikki land on her feet, and then she kicked Rhea Ripley in the stomach, about to hit that swinging neck breaker, but then Rhea Ripley reverses that and then hits her finish move, the Riptide, onto Nikki ASH and then pinned her for the 3 count. So yeah, Rhea Ripley has defeated Nikki ASH tonight on Monday Night Raw. It was a okay match. I'll give that match a 2 out of 5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match. But yep, that's what happened. But then there was multiple matches that was announced. About 4 qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber match. But yep, that'll be later on tonight. And we had a backstage segment with Matt Riddle having a scooter race with Chad Gable as well, with R-Truth as a referee of that. So yeah, little pretty funny moment backstage. But yep, that's what happened. But yeah, pretty good stuff so far. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we had a one-on-one match with the Miz versus Dominic Mysterio, with Rey Mysterio at ringside. It was okay one-on-one match. It only lasted a few minutes. So I'm gonna get to the part with the ending of the match. Now we seen Dominic Mysterio about to hit the 619 onto the Miz, but then Miz, he moves out the way so he couldn't get hit with it. He gets out the ring, pushes Rey Mysterio down onto the ground. He gets back into the ring, beating down Dominic a little bit. And while the referee was checking on Dominic, we see Miz run to the ropes and, just falls down and pretty much cheating to make it look like that Rey Mysterio was the one that, tripped him up, but that didn't happen. And then the referee kicked Rey out of ringside. So Dominic was, like wondering what the hell was going on. He gets up and he's looking at Rey, and then while he was looking at Rey Mysterio, Miz comes up and hits the Skull Crush finale onto him, and then got the 3 count. So, yep, that's what happened. The Miz defeated Dominic Mysterio tonight in a 1-on-1 match. It was an okay match. I'll give that match a 1 out of 5 stars. It was okay. But yeah, up next we're going to see Kevin Owens hosting the KO show with a Road to WrestleMania edition. So yeah, that will be up next on Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we had a one-on-one match. But before I talk about that one-on-one match, there was multiple things going on. Like at one point we had Dana Brooke backstage walking around with the 24/7 title. Tamina attacking her, but Dana Brooke got away and stuff. And then we had Riddle and Chad Gable still continuing their scooter race and all that. But that's what was happening backstage. But then we had Kevin Owens having the KO show, and his special guest was Seth Rollins. He had Seth Rollins come down, and Rollins was talking about how he got choked out and stuff by Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble and stuff, and how he pretty much is not holding the Universal title. And Seth Rollins said, well, due to his performance at the Royal Rumble, he is now in the Elimination Chamber match. So yeah, Seth Rollins said he is now in the Elimination Chamber match. So now we got Lashley, Lesnar, and Rollins in the Elimination Chamber match so far. And Kevin Owens was pretty much trying to lie, try to get his way into the Elimination Chamber match by not trying to be in the qualifying match against Austin Theory. So yeah, he was trying to convince Seth Rollins of, hey, you go to Adam Pearce and tell him, put KO in the Elimination Chamber. If you don't, I'll walk out. And that's what Kevin Owens was saying, but Seth Rollins, he didn't want to do it and stuff. And while they was going back and forth of, going back and forth about it and stuff, Austin Theory came out, and then we finally had a one-on-one match. So yeah, it was Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory. Winner qualifies into the Elimination Chamber match, and it was a pretty good match. At the ending of the match, Kevin Owens hit the suplex off the top turnbuckle on Austin Theory, pins him, and Austin Theory got his foot on the ropes at the count of 2, and then he rolls out the ring, and then Kevin Owens starts beating the hell out of him outside of the ring, about to hit Austin Theory with a powerbomb on the ring apron. And then Austin Theory escapes from it, gets back into the ring. Kevin Owens, he's going through the second rope, getting back into it. But Austin Theory then kicks the second rope and pretty much nut checks Kevin Owens. And then Austin Theory then picks him up on his shoulders and then hits his finisher move onto him and then pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Austin Theory has now qualified for the Elimination Chamber match. So yeah, it was a pretty good match. I'll give that match a 2.5 out of 5 stars. That's why I'll give it 2.5 stars. But yeah, it was a pretty good match. But there's still 2 more qualifying matches later on tonight. And up next, it looked like it'll be Angelo Dawkins versus Dolph Ziggler 1-on-1 up next. So yeah, that's going to be the matchup next. So the next match that happened on Monday Night Raw, we had a 1-on-1 match. It was Angelo Dawkins with Montez Ford, the Street Profits, versus Dolph Ziggler 1-on-1. And Robert Roode was not at ringside for this match. But yeah, it was a pretty decent match between the two. At one point, we see Angelo Dawkins throw Dolph Ziggler up in the air, and then Ziggler coming down with the DDT onto Angelo, and then Angelo kind of landed on Ziggler's knee in a little weird way and stuff, but it was both okay. after that move. But then Ziggler was trying to hit the super kick onto Angelo, but then Angelo grabs him by the leg. Once Ziggler tried to hit the super kick onto him, spun him around, kicks him in the stomach, and then hits that butterfly neck breaker onto Ziggler, and then got the 3 count. So yeah, Angelo Dawkins has defeated Dolph Ziggler tonight. A pretty decent match. Like I said, I'll give that match a 1 out of 5 stars. That's what I'll give it. So yeah, it was an okay match, but there's still more qualifying matches later on tonight. But yeah, it was like an okay match, like I said. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we had that scooter race that was going on between Riddle and Chad Gable. They was going to make it to the finish line, and then Riddle cut Chad Gable off, and then Gable falls and acts like his knee was hurting. And then as soon as Riddle was getting to the finish line, Otis comes up, attacks him, and then here comes Gable, and he goes to the finish line. That's what happened. But then, Riddle was complaining and stuff, and he would say he wants a match against Chad Gable, and then Chad Gable said, "Oh, you want a match? Here, you can face against Otis." And so then, the match was going to get set, Riddle versus Otis, 1-on-1. But then Adam Pearce came out, and he said that match will now be a qualifying match. So yeah, it was a pretty decent match between the two. At the ending of this match, we seen Riddle hit the knee onto Otis 2 times, and then he hits the floating bro onto Otis. Well, he kind of missed it, but it made it look like he landed on his knee. And then, Riddle was trying to hit the RKO onto Otis. And then, as soon as he tried to hit the RKO onto him, Otis pushes him out, pushes him away. And then Riddle climbs up the top turnbuckle, hitting the floating bro again onto Otis, but this time standing up. And he had the jackknife cover onto him. And it was a 3 count. So, yeah, Riddle defeated Otis tonight in a 1-on-1 match. So yeah, Riddle has now qualified for the Elimination Chamber match. But still to come later on tonight, they got AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio 1-on-1 in a qualifying match. So yeah, that is going to be the last qualifying match. But up next, it looks like it will be Bianca Belair versus Carmella 1-on-1. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a 1-on-1 match. It was Bianca Belair versus one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Carmella, in a 1-on-1 match. It was an okay match. We seen Carmella put on the mask and everything, and they was going at it. But then at the ending, we seen Bianca Belair pretty much deck Carmella in the face, and then hits her finisher move, the KOD, onto her. Pins her for the 3 count. It was all over there. So yeah, Bianca Belair defeated Carmella in the 1-on-1 match tonight on Raw, and I'll give that match a 1 out of 5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was an okay match, but if I didn't rate the last match between Riddle and Otis, I think I gave that one a 1.5 stars. So yeah, that one was okay. But yeah, still to come later on tonight, AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio in a qualifying match later on tonight. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a 1-on-1 match. It was AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio in a qualifying match. And this match is pretty much match of the night, obviously. Probably number 2 was Kevin Owens and Austin Theory, but in my opinion, I think Styles and Mysterio obviously had match of the night. But it was a pretty good match. I'll give this match a 2.5 out of 5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, it was a good pace match and everything. At the ending, we seen Mysterio hit the 619 onto Styles, and then he climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off for a frog splash, but Styles pretty much sat up, and Mysterio's smacking the mat. But then Mysterio goes for a crucifix pin onto Styles. Styles barely kicked out at 2. And then Styles lifts up Mysterio, trying to hit a powerbomb, it looked like. But then Mysterio pretty much landed on him, hitting a little senton or whatever, landing on him. And then Mysterio climbed up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with a senton onto him, and then Styles rolled through it and lift him up for the Styles Clash, and hit it on him, and then got the 3 count. So yeah, AJ Styles defeated Rey Mysterio tonight, and he has now qualified for the Elimination Chamber match. So yeah, all 6 competitors is now set for that Elimination Chamber match. So it'll be Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles versus Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins versus Riddle in the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. So yeah, that match has now been set. But yep, it was a pretty good match between Styles and Mysterio. Like I said, probably match of the night. But a close second was Owens and Theory. They have fantastic matches as well. But like I said, I give this match a 2.5 stars. Pretty good match. But yep, it looks like there'll be more stuff happening up next with Ronda Rousey. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, so we had the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble match winner, Ronda Rousey. She came out to the ring, and it looked like she was going to announce, she was trying to see which one does she want to face, Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, and she couldn't make a decision or anything, but then all of a sudden Becky Lynch came out to the ring, and Becky Lynch was like, oh, you should go ahead and choose me and stuff, and pretty much challenging Ronda Rousey. And Ronda Rousey pretty much said, no, I want to make that decision on Friday night. And Becky Lynch pretty much put her arm onto Ronda Rousey, and then Ronda Rousey flipped her over, and she didn't do nothing after that. She walked out the ring and left. But then Lita came out, and Lita pretty much was saying that Becky Lynch didn't deserve that and everything. But then she starts challenging Becky Lynch, saying she wants to challenge Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship at Elimination Chamber. And Becky Lynch pretty much accepted. So yeah, at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, we got the WWE Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, versus Lita one-on-one for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. So yeah, that match is now official. Yep, pretty good segment, I guess. But yeah, that was everything for tonight's Monday Night Raw. It was an okay episode. I mean, there was 2 good matches with Owens and Theory and Mysterio and Styles. There was some okay stuff on it. But for this episode, a whole out of 10, I'll give a 5.5 probably, maybe 6. That's what I'll give it. But yep, that has been my WWE Monday Night Raw January 31st, 2022 review. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to this channel, Chris Benales. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris 1-800. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later.